Deduction under Section 80ID, 80IE, 80JJA, 80JJAA. Presented by Akshata, MCom Final, MPM Government First Grade College, Karkala. What is Section ID? This section was introduced from the assessment year 2008-9. This deduction is available to the taxpayer who are engaged in the business of hotel located in a specified area. Also, this deduction is available to the taxpayer who is engaged in the business of building, owning and operating a convention center located in specified area. This Section 80ID available to the taxpayers who are engaged in the business of hotel located in a specified area and also who are engaged in the business of building, owning, operating a convention center located in a specified area. What is covered under the definition of hotel as per Section 80ID? Hotel means hotel of 2-star, 3-star or 4-star category as classified by the central government. What is covered under the definition of convention center as per Section 80ID? Convention center means building of prescribed area comprising of convention halls to be used for the purpose of holding conferences and seminars, being of such size and number and having such other facilities and amenities as may be prescribed. Convention hall, it can be used for the purpose of holding conferences and seminars, being of such size and number having such other facilities amenities as may be prescribed. What are the conditions to claim deduction under Section 80ID? First one, new enterprise. It should be a new undertaking. The undertaking should not be formed by splitting up or reconstruction of a business already in existence. Exception, any undertaking discontinued due to extensive damage or destruction, any building, machinery, plant or furniture owned and used for such business due to any natural calamity or other unforeseen circumstances such as flood, typhoon, hurricane, cyclone, earthquake or other natural calamity or civil disturbance or accidental fire or explosion or enemy action or action taken in combat. Second one, new plants and machineries. It should not be formed by transferring old plant and machinery which was previously used for any purpose. Exception, value of old plant and machinery is allowed up to 20% of the total value of plant and machineries. Second-hand imported machine will also be treated as new plant and machine under this section provided. First one, such plant or machinery was not used in India prior to installation. Plant or machinery is imported in India. Deduction of depreciation on such plant or machinery has not been allowed for prior period of installation. Third one, audit report. This deduction is allowed if accounts of the SSC has been audited by a CA and audit report has been submitted. Audit report needs to be submitted in form number 10 CCBBA. Fourth one, income tax return. One of the conditions given in this section is that assessee needs to file his income tax return should also claim the amount of deduction in return. Moreover, income tax return needs to be filed on time as per Section 139 subsection 1. You cannot claim deduction in case of belated return. While computing total income of assessee, no deduction shall be allowed under any other section contained in Chapter VI or Section 10 AA. What is the amount of deduction is available under Section 80ID? 100% of the profit is allowed as deduction for 5 consecutive assessment years from initial assessment year. So, what is the meaning of initial assessment year? Initial assessment year here means the assessment year relevant to the previous year in which the business of the hotel starts functioning or convention center starts operating on a commercial basis. Section 80IE. 80IE is available to special provisions in respect of certain undertakings in northeastern states. A deduction of an amount equal to 100% of the profits and gains derived from the following business for 10 consecutive assessment years shall be allowed to an SSE which begins to manufacture or produce any eligible article or thing. Second one, undertakes substantial expansion to manufacture or produce an eligible article or thing. Third one, carry on any eligible business. Northeastern state. This section applies to any undertaking which fulfills all the following conditions. It is not formed by splitting up or the reconstruction of an business already in existence. It is not formed by transfer to a new business of machinery or plant previously used for any purpose. Notes. Substantial expansion means increase in the investment in the plant and machinery by at least 25% of the book value of the plant and machinery before taking depreciation in any year, as on the first day of the previous year in which the substantial expansion is undertaken. Eligible article or thing means the article or thing other than the following: goods which pertains to tobacco and manufactured tobacco substitutes, pan masala, plastic carry bags. Eligible business means the business of hotel, adventure and leisure sports including roofways, providing medical and health services in the nature of nursing home with minimum capacity of 25 beds, running an old age home, running information technology related training center, manufacturing of information technology hardware and biotechnology. Section 80JJA, deduction in respect of employment of new employees. Section 80JJA is deduction in respect of employment of new employees. Applicability of Section 80JJA. This section applicable to all assessees, that is corporate and non-corporate assessee. It is also applicable to non-resident carrying on business in India. This section is applicable to all assessee, corporate assessee and non-corporate assessee, and also applicable to non-resident carrying on business in India, not in foreign. This section applies to any assessee to whom Section 44AB applies, that is applicable to a person who is required to get his account audited by an accountant. Third one, deduction is allowed where here the gross total income of an assessee includes any profits and gains derived from business. Therefore, the deduction is not available to an assessee carrying on any profession. This deduction is not available to an assessee carrying on any profession. Manner of deduction under Section 80JJA. Deduction 30% of additional employee cost incurred in the course of such business in the previous year. Deduction shall be allowed for 3 assessment years, including the assessment year relevant to the previous year in which such employment is provided. In case of new business, deduction is available in the previous year in which the business has been established and employment is provided, and in every subsequent previous year in which employment has been provided. In case of existing business, deduction is available in the previous year in which the employment has been provided. Section 80JJA deduction. Section 80JJA is a facility for claiming a deduction for the recruitment of new or additional employees. The section has been made available in the Income Tax Act to encourage employers to recruit fresh employees on a periodic basis. This deduction of the Income Tax Act can be claimed by all assessees for creating employment generation opportunities. Section 80JJAA deduction is aimed at generating employment in all sectors of the Indian economy. Eligibility for claiming Section 80JJAA deduction. Section 80JJAA deduction can be claimed by taxpayers whose total income includes profit or gains from business. To be eligible to claim deduction under Section 80JJAA, the taxpayer must satisfy all of the following conditions. The business should not have been formed by splitting up or the reconstruction of an existing business. However, a business could have been formed as a result of re-establishment, reconstruction, of revival. Second one, the business should not have been acquired by the taxpayer by the way of transfer from any other person or as a result of business organization. Third one, the taxpayer must file income tax return before the due date along with a report of chartered accountant in Form 10DA. Amount of deduction under Section 80JJAA. Taxpayer can claim deduction equal to 30% of the amount of additional employee cost for 3 assessment years. Who can be considered as an additional employee? Additional employee means an employee who has been employed during the previous year whose employment has the effect of increasing the total number of employees employed by the employer as on the last date of preceding year, but does not include an employee whose total emoluments are more than rupees 25,000 per month, an employee for whom the entire contribution is paid by the government under the employees pension scheme. Third one, an employee who is employed for a period of less than 240 days during the previous year. In the case of apparel manufacturers, the minimum employment period is 150 days. Any employee who does not participate in the recognized provident fund. Meaning of additional employee cost. Additional employee cost means total emoluments paid or payable to additional employees employed during the previous year. The Act provides that in the case of an existing business, the additional employee cost shall be nil. The Act provides if there is, in case of an existing business, the additional employee cost shall be nil. There is no increase in the number of employees from the total number of employees employed on the last day of the preceding year. Emoluments are paid otherwise than by an account pay check or accountant pay bank draft or by use of ECS through a bank account. Also, in the first year of business, emoluments paid or payable to the employees employed during that year will be deemed to be the additional employee cost. Emoluments means any sum paid or payable to an employee in life of his employment by whatever name called but does not include any contribution paid or payable by the employer to any pension fund or provident fund or any other fund for the benefit to the employee under any law for the time being in force. Any lump sum payment paid or payable to an employee at the time of termination of service or liquidation of service or superannuation or voluntary retirement such as gratuity, severance pay, leave encashment, voluntary retrenchment benefits, commutation of pension, and so on. Form 10DA. Taxpayers claiming income tax deduction under Section 80JJAA must file a report from a chartered accountant in Form DA. 10DA. Thank you.